Hey everyone, Snowman here from the OWENSVILLE Crawlers. I got a little quick money saving video for everybody here today. I have done this for a couple people so far and it's worked well for myself, so I figured I'd share it. A lot of people have asked me how it's done, so here it is kind of generically. I didn't want to go too all into it because if you're doing this you probably know how to solder and whatnot, and you know what the inside of a servo looks like. Or at least you should. This isn't something I would do if you were just starting out, and it's definitely not something I would do with a brand new servo unless you have an extra one to spare. So all you need is an old servo. In this case I am going to be powering my body lights on my Project SCX-70, which some of you may know. So I have, this is the like the servo plug that would normally go into the receiver. This is going to be plugged into my channel 4, I believe. And then for my particular setup, I have the plug that goes into my lights. So once you take your servo completely apart, you'll be left with a motor sitting here and the potentiometer, which you need, and I believe is what it's called. I could be wrong. And the board itself and the plug. So what I would recommend first off is to get into your receiver box, plug this into your channel that you're going to be using, and make sure that this potentiometer here is centered. If this isn't centered, if you use it as the winch controller, the winch will constantly want to turn one way, even if it's very slowly. So you want to make sure that once you get into this has to be centered. And the best way to do that is to calibrate, like let's say the third channel dead center, to where it's stopped, you know it would be stopped, and then turn this just a little bit at a time until you see the gear on the motor completely stop. It shouldn't be slowly rotating, nothing, dead center. And then you take some shoe glue or some plastic glue and you glue the potentiometer in place. Now once you're done with this, you may want to find a way to bend this down, waterproof the whole thing, maybe some plasti dip or shoe glue. Anyways, once you get it centered, you're going to unsolder the motor off. Now the wires on this, usually on most servos, are the same corresponding. So if you don't know what's positive and negative, look at these wires here. And usually corresponding negatives on this side, positives on this side, and you'll be alright. Worst case, you just flip your plug around. So once you've done that, you solder whatever connection you want to your lights on here, and I'll show you how it works. I'm going to plug this into channel 4. Plug it into the car. And power on the radio. Power on the battery. Now on this one I have it wired down here. This is switch 1 on mine. And that's that. And if you wanted to use it as a winch controller, I have this hooked up. This is the same thing on a winch controller. I have it wired up in there, and I have it to my button down here. There's winch out, stop, winch in. So it's a useful video, saves you some bucks. You don't have to go out and buy a wireless controller if you have an extra channel on your receiver and stuff. Hopefully you found it useful. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much for stopping by, and if you'd like to see more things like this and whatnot, leave it in the comments below. If you want to see more in-depth end-to-end of how this is done, let me know. Anyways, we'll see you next time.